There have been concerted efforts to present to us the distorted version of Indian history by painting the dark periods of Indian history as glorious and progressive. One of these attempts relates to the life of Tipu Sultan. He has been hailed in our history textbooks as a freedom fighter who fought valiantly against the British in defense of indigenous national interest. He has also been called the Tiger of Mysore, a secular ruler, a Kannada icon, and whatnot. But the historical documents show that Tipu Sultan was anything but a freedom fighter, and there is ample authentic evidence to show that he was a fanatic Muslim tyrant. Hello everyone, my name is Rahul Das and you're watching History is Interesting. In this video, we will look at some of the important sources related to the life of Tipu Sultan and try to uncover his real character. So all the available records such as Malabar Manual of William Logan, Voyage to East Indies of Father Bartholomew, historical sketches of Colonel Wilkes, History of Tipu Sultan by Mir Hussain Ali Khan Kirmani, A History of Kerala by K.M. Panikkar and many others clearly depict Tipu Sultan as the most intolerant, cruel and fanatic Muslim ruler in South India. It is true that Tipu fought against the British for over 20 years and was finally killed by them in the 4th Anglo-Mysore War in 1799 at his capital Srirangapatna near Mysore. But he fought against the British only to save his own kingdom. This is substantiated by the fact that in his fight against the British, he took the help of the French. He even invited the French to invade India. Now we all know that both the British and the French wanted to colonize India. So what kind of patriot Tipu was, who was ready to invite one colonial power to oust the other? Because of his intense anti-British attitude, the so-called progressive and secular historians have made a vain attempt to paint Tipu as a great national hero. Even the French, who initially helped him to fight the British, were horrified by his crimes, mass murder, forced conversion, and the methods he adopted to torture the people. In an article titled The Tyrant Diaries, published in the magazine Outlook in 2013, its author, François Gauthier, presented a diary entry of a French adventurer about what he witnessed of Tipu's rule in Calicut. Most of the Hindu men and women were hanged. First, mothers were hanged with their children tied to their necks. That barbarian Tipu Sultan tied the naked Christians and Hindus to the legs of elephants and made the elephants move around till the bodies of the helpless victims were torn to pieces. Temples and churches were ordered to be burned down, desecrated and destroyed. Christian and Hindu women were forced to marry Mohammedans, and similarly their men, after conversion to Islam, were forced to marry Mohammedan women. And these events were corroborated by Father Bartholomew, a famous Portuguese traveller, in his memoir, Visit to East Indies. Tipu Sultan, who succeeded his father Hyder Ali, considered it his primary duty to continue the unfinished jihad started by his father. However, the religious fanaticism of Tipu Sultan was much worse than that of his father. His war cry of jihad was sword or cap, which meant either you convert to Islam or face death. This makes very clear the character of Tipu Sultan's military operations started in 1783. Most of Tipu's outrages and his anti-Hindu activities were carried out in Malabar. And in this video, I will focus particularly on this region. So after the Treaty of Mangalore, at the end of Second Mysore War, the region of Malabar was left to the mercy of Tipu Sultan. According to Louis B. Bowery, the atrocities committed by Tipu Sultan on the Hindus in Malabar were worse and more barbarous than those committed against the Hindus in Hindustan by the notorious Mahmud of Ghazni, Alauddin Khalji and Nadir Shah. Raja Varma, in his famous literary work, History of Sanskrit Literature in Kerala, has written the following about the loss and destruction faced by the Hindu temples during the military regime of Tipu Sultan. There was no limit as to the loss of the Hindu temples suffered due to the military operations of Tipu Sultan. Burning down the temples, destruction of the idols installed therein, and also cutting the heads of cattle over the temple deities were the cruel entertainments of Tipu Sultan and his equally cruel army. It was heartrending even to imagine the destruction caused by Tipu Sultan in the famous ancient temples of Thaliparampu and Trichambaram. The devastation caused by this new Ravana's barbarous activities have not yet been fully rectified. After all this, if Tipu is still considered a secular ruler by some motivated historians because of his alleged land grants to a few Hindu temples and Sringeri Mutt and protection to Ranganatha Swami temple, then at most it could be treated only as a scandalous exceptions. Such acts of Tipu was part of a political strategy. Dr. M. Gangadharan in Mathrubhumi Weekly wrote, "In the socio-religious political conditions prevailing in Mysore of Tipu's days, such things could not be avoided. The financial assistance to Sringeri Mutt meant for conducting religious rites to ward off evil spirits was clearly specified in the letter sent by Tipu Sultan. As such, these cannot be accepted as evidence of Tipu's respect for Hindu religion." Tipu himself wrote several letters boasting his cruelty towards and forcible conversion of the Hindus to his commanders, or directing them to specify zealotry. In his letter dated March 22, 1788 to Abdul Qadir, he wrote, "Over 12,000 Hindus were honored with Islam. There were many Nambudiris, that is the Brahmins, among them. This achievement should be widely publicized among the Hindus. There the local Hindus should be brought before you and then converted to Islam. No Nambudiris should be spared. Also, they should be confined there till the dress materials sent for them reach you." Tipu also wrote a letter dated December 14, 1788 to his army chief in Calicut. "I am sending 2 of my followers with Mir Hussain Ali. With their assistance, you should capture and kill all Hindus. Those below 20 may be kept in prison and 5,000 from the rest should be killed by hanging from the tree tops. These are my orders." The letter of January 19, 1790 sent to Badruz Zaman Khan by Tipu himself says, "Don't you know I have achieved a great victory recently in Manabar and over 4 lakh Hindus were converted to Islam? I am determined to march against that cursed Raman Nair very soon." Reference here is to Ramavarma, Raja of Travancore state, who was giving a tough fight to Tipu. "Since I am overjoyed at the prospect of converting him and his subjects to Islam, I have happily abandoned the idea of going back to Srirangapatna." In spite of all these, historical documents and records are being deliberately suppressed, falsified, and distorted to project this fanatic Tipu Sultan of Mysore as a liberal and magnanimous Muslim king. It may be noted here that Tipu never fought against the British in Kerala. He only fought against the Hindu Rajas. His hostilities against the British were stepped up only when his ally the French waged war against the British or when his own kingdom was threatened. Finally, Tipu Sultan's much proclaimed status as a Kannada icon proves to be a shaky one when one scrutinizes history. He spared no efforts to make Persian the lingua franca of Karnataka at the cost of Kannada. He passed an order in 1792 making Persian the official language of Karnataka in place of Kannada. Now I will sum up the video by quoting from a book titled Tipu Sultan, the Tyrant of Mysore, written by Sandeep Balakrishna. In 193 of this book, he writes, "Tipu considered himself as the protector and propagator of Islam. In his fanaticism-fueled worldview, people of other faiths were sinners, filled with ignorance of false faiths. According to Tipu, Islam was the only true faith and everybody who didn't follow the Prophet and his teachings were kafirs and traitors. He called his kingdom the Khudadat Sarkar, or the kingdom given by God. He labored under the belief that his wars against Hindu kings and the British were holy wars, jihad, aimed at establishing and extending the only true faith." So I have tried to present before you some of the facts related to the fanaticism of Tipu Sultan. Now it is up to you to decide whether Tipu Sultan was the tiger or the tyrant of Mysore. Dhanyavad.